Hello everyone, I wish you a beautiful Lionsgate portal. That's still going on. Today is the 9th of August 2025. And I haven't spoken for quite some time once again because I feel that mostly everything is said and presented from my own spiritual path of self-discovery that I had, and the stuff we are talking about, the stuff that we share, our mental impressions, right, that we have and that we digest, so to say, from our deep inner standing. So now is the time, and I was handing this out already starting in 2023, I guess, that we come into wholeness, and this is the only true and meaningful path. It's not about fleeing into ever lighter density with our mental aspects, with our perception. So we omit to see our shadow, we omit to see our darkness, our ancestors, to tidy up within what is of our essence. And a very lovely sister of mine, I'm in communication with her since quite some time. We have been on the group back in the day of the Keylontics, before I was thrown out there, because when I stated after I had seen it all for my liking, I stated, yeah, now is the time to claim back our darkness, to claim back our body and spiritualize materia, which is bringing spirit and the mother, which is our body, which is the DNA, which is our past form of soul, into unity once again within. So this is what, from my understanding, is becoming Christed and whole once again, the wholeness. To explain this concept a little bit more, I would say, imagine just the here and now is existent, right? Like we are. Everything is tangible right in this moment. The future is not here yet. It could be that there's out of nothing something happening in front of me that forces me to interrupt the video. So I don't have this on my finger at the moment because it's dependent from the external factor. And the future is our spirit. The spirit is a future form of soul with all opportunities that are there. And then we have the body and our DNA, which is the past form of soul. We have lived as our ancestors as well, not as everyone, of course. There's the intermingling in between the oversouls and their fractals that created our ancestry, and this is worldly, and then it becomes cosmically, and so on. So this goes back in time, although it's not existent now, and is carried forth to this moment of now. It's a past form of soul, which is our knowing, our intuition from experience, of experience that was already lived. So our stream of future soul and the construction plan is what we call the divine masculine, which is etherical. That's why it is represented by the element of ether. From the divine masculine side, which is just another label. Of course, a woman has this as well as the feminine side, which is our body, represented by the 4 elements in manifest condition, which is the matter, the materia. And when we bring back both of them into unity within, then we create wholeness. And this is what it's all about. And a lot of the spiritual teachings are in a certain way inverted, and inverted means that they don't serve because they bring us away from this wholeness. But then on the other side, just by your observation, do you live now? Because you will certainly say, yes, I'm alive. Why are you asking stuff like that? then I can tell you, then you are already whole, because otherwise you would not be living. And that's what this distortion and this matrix trap is all about with classic spirituality. It brings you out of your body. It says, oh no, you don't need to have a look at this. This is already past, and this is not taking influence on your true power, and so on. Yeah, that's theoretically this is true, because you could just align your heart spark, your divine spark with source, and then thrive. But there are a lot of programs running, either from the mind, which is all the new age and all the storytelling of love and light on the one hand, that won't allow that you dive into your body to reflect your true potential and bring the blockages out of the way that are still there in your past form of soul, in your body, in your DNA. And as long as these are there, they take influence on your being, on your thinking, on your feeling, on your behavior. So that's why I say the inner alchemy is the key, that you have always to jump when you receive spirit, its future form, and you take this into the body and you compare it with your database within, so to say, to refract the wisdom of the now moment. That's what needs to be done, you know. So then you have clarity. Then you have also solved with the techniques that are rolled out, which is self-forgiveness, which is compassion that is created towards yourself as well, and with other techniques of letting go, realizing that it does not serve any longer, and stepping into a mighty position of self, so to say, that you can shed these skins. This is what always needs to be done in order to become whole, not because you are not, because you are whole, but in your perception, in your memory, in your actual understanding of the moment. That's where you need to recreate your wholeness. And that's all you need to do. And all is within already. That's true. You don't need anything from outside. And looking into the outside a lot and trying to omit, to deny that has to be seen within, causes you distress, because the picture painted there is very beautiful, very vast. And the promises made that we are going into the fifth dimension now and enter paradise, Eden on earth. But you know, the truth is it's already there. It just depends on your own perspective, on your own perception. If you receive living in an abyss right now, or if you receive it as being in paradise already. So this is absolutely due to your own perception of the process, and that's also connected to the blockages, to the karma, to the cause and effect that is still written in your DNA. And that's where you have to go for, to dissolve this with the higher wisdom of spirit and soul. Soul is the key to access it, and has the experiences of your entire being at hand. And spirit is bringing the opportunities from higher consciousness, from the collective field, also from made experience, from problem resolution, if you wish, from the morphogenetic field, when the healers went deep and the other front runners and solved karma, so to say, from the ancestry, from their own soul, and brought this back into natural order due to forgiveness, due to transmutation as well. Transmutation is another point. then you can link into this field of spirit and bring this into your own essence and undergo the process and inherit what is already yours. Upright order, natural order of your own ancestry that is still present in your body, neither if it is either dominant in your genes or recessive, it is still there. So even if you had ancestry that is not very positive from our perception, this is still there in your body, in the past form of soul. So you bring this into natural order and submit it to your divine spark. Submit it in alignment, in surrender to divine will that is your highest essence that you carry within your heart. The flame is another word for that, the Atman. And by that, all is forgiven. And that's how stuff that really was negative from our perception back in the day, in the shadow, becomes transmuted. So it never existed. When we entangle these timelines, when we quantum entangle them, we receive the Dharma, which is the learnings in virtuous order, so to say, that things, even if they are allowed from free will, are not to be experienced or not to be done because it harms the other eye, and thereby it is not in our repertoire to do that. That's the Dharma and the deep knowing, and in a way of feeling even that this must be omitted in the continuation of life. This is one thing, and you bring back the unity of polarity with this process of dissolution, either through forgiveness or through transmutation, and thereby you set free love once again, which is God. Because when the polarity comes into unity once again, the split that once happened is not present anymore. It's brought back into wholeness, and that's unity, and that is love. So that's what we call shadow work as well, right? And by that you bring also your ancestry into natural order once again, and you inherit the positive skills, you can say, to your inner world, to your ancestry. Now that you are liberated and brought back into natural order, I decree and command that your strength and your positivity that you also embodied and you also stood for become part of my repertoire, of my memory, who I am. That is to have the focus at hand of how you transform and transmute all that you are in all times, in the now moment, into oneness. And when you have done that, not just for your family line that you embody now, but for the worldly ancestry and even for the cosmic one, you will gain access back to source consciousness constantly. So you become a channel of source. You reach back into the 13th dimension, into the mother arc, if we like to remain with this very theoretical model that you are already familiar with from the Metatronics and from the Galantics, and then later on from the Vedics, which is depicted as a tree of life with all the different energy centers of different dimensions. The truth is, you're always multidimensional, and you could normally access all of these dimensions in the multiverse, because every human is an own universe, and the vastness, the togetherness of all of us like that. We are the multiverse. So, all connected via the divine spark as one, huh? And this is present in all life, and this is also present in the cells of the ones that are called the soulless. And I really dislike that spiritual one-upmanship, to say, oh, these people don't have a soul, but I have. Maybe there are some clones, and maybe there is soullessness in this meaning, but I share you another impression that I have, and it came from a very powerful brother of mine back in the day. He said, yeah, all of these people who are deemed soulless, they still have the divine spark within their cells, and all of these bodies are vessels here in these times for drop-ins. Consider it like that. So if we need fortification, fractal of soul can come as a drop-in into these bodies. And when they have contact with one of us who are realized avatars back in unity source consciousness, we can spark this process and soul enters. So it's not all so negative as you might see, as you might judge it when you just cling to the outside, to the storytelling. And it is somehow very unfortunate as well. I just received a message from a Kylontics group in Germany, where they are preparing for their death now, for leaving here, now, into ascension, they say. But this is just another lie. I saw a girl who was a Kylontics master in a video dying. That was 2 years ago. She left her body, literally, and her body was shaking, and she electrocuted herself. But as said in my past video, in my latest one, that's not what we are trying to achieve now, right? So the true ascension is a full descension into the body, and when we wish to have the access to above, to the light, we need to go below. It works linear to the seventh dimension, which is a crown, which is actually the veil also, which is veiled by our body. And then we have to jump with the Merkaba in the beginning to do that with the eighth star, with the solar star, with the eighth sphere, do the shadow work, thereby we activate our light, and this is heavy duty. And when we have the Omega, which is the Omega, we can go with our own light into our Earth star, which is the Alpha, which is the black sun. And from there we go all the way downwards. All the way downwards. 9th dimension, 10th dimension, 11th, 12th, 13th. Just by shadow work, my dear ones. Just by getting to know yourself and bringing everything into natural order and dissolve or alchemize it into love and Dharma. Just like that, you reclaim your wholeness fully, although you already are, otherwise you wouldn't be alive. But then you are consciously alive, you are consciously back to alignment, back to source. So this is what I wanted to share for longer. Excuse me for all the noise here. It's a street where I'm sitting with a lot of traffic. People are enjoying the summerly weather. Be mild to yourselves and lay down all the distractions external if you would like to have a good advice, and go within. Do it in darkness, best. Or in nature, that's also possible when you don't want to sit with yourself in a dark room and allow all of this to come over you, to be able to manage it if you are not feeling strong enough for that. do it in nature. And there's also the opportunity to reach out. Ali Asar is here, a shamanic alchemist. We are working through that with you. You can also receive a deep cleaning purge with the master medicines of the Amazon rainforest. For that, you just reach out, and the initiation, or better consecration I grant, is the one of the divine child, in the name of the mother, the father, as the divine child, so just with your own essence and with life itself. And when you agree to that, to receive it, the process starts. So your integration works very smoothly, because you will always be aware of that, what the lessons are, so you can dissolve all karmical, all cause and effect that is still there with you, and you can dissolve it in a very smooth way, always in awareness about the process, which helps a lot, because you don't have to repeat cycles. And this is a matter of 6 months to 1 year, and you'll be back to your fullest essence before the bodily integration starts entirely. But you will have to go through this process of integration for yourself, and nobody can help you. In this process, nobody should take out anything from you, because then you will not get this teaching, you will not get this lesson. And this is actually quite dangerous, and I see it. I see the ones who are doing that, they are not knowing what they are doing, and they shorten your lifespan, because the cause and effect that you carry within is your lifespan that is playing out in this co-creation, in this projection of life, of collective reality. It's not a simulation, it is a projection. We need to be very appropriate about that over here, right? So I wish a blessed time to everyone. It was time to do another video. Take care, don't be afraid, just sit with yourself, and Lakash Alakin and Namaste.